According to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the children of the poor we fail to train today will not let our children have peace tomorrow. Government is haram. As self-appointed new minister for terrorism and banditry affairs and the APC-led government official liaison officer for bandits in Nigeria, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi recently said government should create Ministry of Nomadic Affairs to solve the insecurity problem. This is among many solutions they are propounded. But someone should remind Gumi that we already have the National Commissioner for Nomadic Education, established in 1989 by Decree 41, which is now Nomadic Education Act 2004, headed by Professor Bashir H. Usman as Executive Secretary. And yet, the problem persists. Is it really our inability to educate the nomad or failure of leadership and inability to take responsibility for actions and inaction that is at the core of the problem? Let me take your mind back. You send your children to school in modern schools and in some cases abroad. Why sending the children of the poor to learn Arabic under a cleric who will abuse the child by flogging him, starving him of food? The child is not shown love growing up, so he lacks shame and is left to beg on the street and can be killed by senseless motorists as he is indoctrinated with the notion that modern education is forbidden, haram. No sellable skills to confront the vagaries of a changing world. Yet, you expect such a child to grow up with love and kindness? But Zeniba, that is impossible. Most of the children who grew up under the Almajiri system in the 80s, 90s, and in some cases early 2000s without education and the basic psychological foundation needed for modern world, where are they today? Why are we not asking after them? Make I tell you where them they. Why some are in politics, some are riding Okada, Achaba, while others whom have been used and dumped as political thugs have taken up arms against the state in retaliation, since those that use them have abandoned them and the state can no longer protect and provide for them. This is not in any way limited to the North alone. A same failure of leadership and use and dump attitude of our system can be traced to the origin of militancy in the Niger Delta, kidnapping in the South, and fraud, yahoo everywhere in the South today. The problem, they enough to go round. So you see, simply creating a Ministry of Nomadic Affairs will not solve the problem without a resolve by the northern leaders to end the menace. Same way, the creation of Ministry of Niger Delta has not solved the problem of Niger Delta, even with the 6 trillion naira spent by NDDC in the region in the past 18 years. Just as Abdulrashid Bawa, the chairman of EFCC, said the federal government has spent 6 trillion naira on the war against insurgency since 2008. So why do you think political leaders will allow such war to end? The answer is blowing in the wind. When Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, former emir of Kano, said the culture of marrying many wives and producing many children without the responsibility of taking care of them is responsible for poverty, insecurity, and backwardness in the north, the political leaders hushed him down. That as an emir, he should focus his gaze on his palace and leave the vast issue of poverty eradication and political leadership failure alone. Yet, the man no here where he did today. Even the followers who should have supported him went mute, as their mental capacity is not supposed to be higher than that of their political leader, governors or president or even lawmaker. Even if you are highly intelligent and well-read, in Nigeria, once you support a political leader or party, your reasoning has to be shallow, hollow, and below that of your political leader. Pretend to be a fool and exhibit your foolery public, otherwise they will say you are not a loyal supporter. I will therefore advocate, as stated by Mallam Aminu Kano, Nigeria will know no peace until the son of a nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody. And until the government sees education of every child, irrespective of his tongue or tribe, as a compulsory task that must be accomplished or achieved, and creation of environment, an enabling environment for business to grow and thrive, a compulsory task for government, instead of this primitive acquisition of public funds. And fathers are held responsible for their irresponsible childbearing, who will all wake up one day and discover that our country has been overtaken by terrorists, as they will tell you, modern democratic government is haram. Even those children who sent abroad won't have a home to call theirs, as they can no longer come home. And those here might end up as slaves even in their own country. I'm not a prophet of doom, but the signs are everywhere. And you, the youth, to bring in people who can create the environment and make education a priority, you must come together to overwhelmingly vote out this bunch of incompetent politicians, as power is not served a la carte. 2023 don't reach finish. As you clock 18, you don't register to vote, time no day. I will salute the effort of the Nigerian army, despite these obvious concerns and inadequacies, are still daily confronting the menace called insecurity. May your efforts yield results soon, so we can return to a Nigeria of old, where I could travel from Benin to Maiduguri to watch better insurance play Ekanemi Warrior of Borno. All hands must be on deck. Until next week, when I come to tell you how we can use election to change the status quo, don't forget to follow us on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share until then here. See you then.